I finished my school. I had no idea what I'm gonna do with my life, because it was like I need to study, get school nice marks and so on. But what to do further, I don't know. And my parents, they were forcing me to be either the doctor or financial manager. I think it's quite common here also. You want to be either doctor or engineer. And I entered finance university just because my parents wanted me to enter it, and even I get a nice job and I earn quite a lot of money for that. But at the same time, you can click. So, but at the same time, I was thinking like, now my parents are happy, and actually my friends look at me like, whoa, you have cool job, you have university studies and so on. But I have feeling in my inside of me that something terribly wrong, and it's not the path that I want to go with through my life. And in Russian we have two phrases. First is like when you are sad, you're looking aside, and it means that something is wrong. And the second is, you can click it, is elephant in the room. Maybe some of you know this concept. It's like some idea which is inside of you, which bother you all the time, and trying to make you things better. And you need to discover what is your elephant in the room in your life to follow your great purpose. So I will explain to you. My elephant in the room, I read one nice article. It is like one figure from them, but it's in Russian. I will explain you. So it's like it's huge research among young people in Russia, and the first figure is telling youth was asked whether they want to stay in the country and live for the country, or they want to leave. And you see that 56% said that they want to stay in the country, and the rest people said that they don't want to live in this country, they want to leave. Almost 50%, we have 7 million of young people in the country, and about 3.5, they want just to leave our country and live somewhere else, because Then the second thing is that about the values. People were asked if you need to go against your values to succeed in your career or your personal life, will you do that? And 50% said yes, I will do something against my values. And that was shocking for me. And the third one, you can think that the main values of Russian youth, which was discovered during the research, is like money, to get a nice job and earn, be financially sound, let's say. And the second one is the family, or being get married as fast as you can. And that was really shocking for me, because I don't think that my youth in my country think like that, but they said like that. And you can click. And I think I was starting to ask people, why you think that money is so important, and what was the answer? The answer was like, I want to earn money and I want to make my mom happy, because she was living in the poor in her childhood. So money is not your value is love. You want to make people happy, you want to make your mother happy, that is your value. And what I discovered, that people there is no any institution in my country which can ask you the question why you think like that. And I think that so I think that my great purpose is to awake people and change something in education in my country. And this is my huge elephant in the room. And you can click once again. More. The final one. And I want to leave you with a question, every time you are doing something, please think about what is your elephant in the room, what you want to achieve, awake and follow your dream. That will make you happy and make people happy around you. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga. And now I would like to invite Ronak Parikh and Isha Bhave of Vivekananda Vidyapith.
Ite inflammata omnia. Ite inflammata omnia. Go forth and set the world on fire. Such was the command of St. Ignatius of Loyola to his young order of Jesuit monks to serve across the globe to those in the greatest need. Gurma stara kacharanam, tribhuvanam, utpataya mobila. We shall crush the stars to atoms and unhinge the universe. Such were the words of Swami Vivekananda to his brother disciples. The words of both Swamiji and St. Ignatius are so powerful, but what do they truly mean? Why are we asked to set the world on fire? What is this world? Why is Swamiji asking us to unhinge the universe? What exactly is youth? What exactly is transformation? And what needs to be transformed in society? The time in life that we call youth is marked by dynamism. It is a time of our formation. The experiences we have as youth form us and shape us in the way that we think, believe, and feel. These experiences create the deepest imprints in our souls and thus construct the formation of our character. It is this time when we establish ourselves and look at the world with a fresh perspective. And it is this time when our impressionable minds and unique perspectives, along with the powerful drive and strength, as mentioned earlier, can actually set the world on fire or unhinge that universe. But what is transformation? When we say transformation, do we simply mean a modification or an altercation? No. Transformation is a metamorphosis, a gradual, complete, and utter change both in and around us. So what is it that we have to do to transform? First, we must think of why we want transformation and for what. This why, this transform the world, cannot be any thoughtless outburst. It requires scientific observation and mature thinking. We start by identifying the underlying problem, seeing it firsthand and not simply through text or television. We must make sure that we are addressing the root of the problem and not just the surface. Second, we need to understand how we initiate this transformation. Once we identify an issue, is it a problem to us? Or rather, do we see it as something that has caught our total attention, our interest? We must take up an issue as an interest, a passion, to find a solution to it. Third, we must see our current capacity. What can we feasibly do right now? This should be followed by preparing ourselves for the challenges ahead, doing our research, and following and finally plunging in. During his time as a wandering monk, Swamiji identified many problems in society: poverty, illiteracy, inequality, and the lack of national, social, and individual character. The issues stirred his heart, his whole existence, and from that emerged his vision for his future mission. In fact, many of us see the same problems in society today, and like Swamiji, we feel this stirring deep within us, in our hearts, and many times in our stomachs. But do we really listen to this stirring? Swamiji once said, "Feel, my children, feel. Feel for the poor, the ignorant, the downtrodden. Feel till the heart stops and the brain reels, and you think you will go mad. Then pour the soul at the feet of the Lord, and then will come power, help, and indomitable energy." It is clear that these experiences of Swamiji had made these issues more than just problems. It kindled in him an interest, a burning passion, and Swamiji just plunged in. But how exactly did he do this? Swamiji emphasized that transformation, this setting the world ablaze, should begin from within, concentrating on building ourselves internally before setting out to change the external world. Because just as society influences individuals, individuals also influence, create, and make up a society. So by plunging in, by igniting the flame, we do not begin with the wide-scale political movement. Rather, we begin with our own spiritual nature. In a letter to Parimal Alasinga, Swamiji even says, "Meddle not with social reform, for there cannot be any reform without spiritual reform first." As a part of spiritual reform, Swamiji points at three major qualities. First, we must be pure. Purity in thoughts, words, and actions. These should be based on truth and should be inspired by love. Second, we must have perseverance and courage to express new ideas, take up any challenge, and overcome obstacles. And third, we must have patience, because a transformation is a total change, and it will not easily or quickly be achieved. but rather gradually as in a metamorphosis. Once we have these qualities, once we have shaped and formed our personalities, we will apply these naturally in our lives. Imagine not just one, but many such personalities unite for one goal. What a dynamo of power could be created by such a collective consciousness. Swamiji is pointing to that youth power. But do we think that all this youth power, this social transformation, requires a national stage or effort? Ignatius mentioned setting the world on fire in our service. But what is this world? This world includes our households, our classrooms, our neighborhoods. Whether it is being a model brother, sister, doctor, artist, or businessman, whether it is creating an accessible means to harness renewable energy or improving our educational system, all these examples are social transformation. We can all socially transform the world in and around us. As Swami Atmarupananda mentioned yesterday, this is our responsibility to follow in the footsteps of Swamiji and transform ourselves and then society. Purmastaraka Jarvanam Tribhuvanam Utmobalat Gimbo Navijanami Asman Ramakrishna Dasavaya. We shall crush the stars to atoms and unhinge the universe. Don't you know who we are? We are the servants of Sri Ramakrishna.
But I would request all the participants, please remember the time constraint and follow the schedule, please. So the next speaker, Isha Bhave.
Namaste. My name is Isha Bhave, and like Ronak, I'm an alumni of Vivekananda Vidyapith, located in Wayne, New Jersey. And I'll be sharing some brief thoughts on the topic of success mantras for youth leadership. When we think of a mantra, we are immediately drawn to the idea that it is a phrase or a saying that we keep in mind as we develop our leadership skills to our fullest potential. One way to derive these mantras is to look at Swami Vivekananda's leadership throughout his life. Swami Vivekananda is considered one of India's greatest leaders because of the principles and values he held throughout his travels and his teachings. We can look at some of the values that he thought were most important and glean some success mantras from them. The first mantra that comes to mind when looking at his leadership style is, every leader must have a dynamic character and personality. This character can only be built up by our inner self. We must have the personality that inspires others. As Mahatma Gandhiji said, be the change you wish to see in the world. This can only be done when our character is dynamic and strong. A leader should also know people and their needs and have love for all. This trait was evident in Sri Ramakrishna's life, as he was able to bring all types of people together by the power of his love. Similarly, Swami Vivekananda showed us this mantra through the philosophy of seeing the divinity in man and women, whether they supported him or opposed him. He especially saw this during his period as a wandering monk in India. Along with love for all, a leader must be willing to selflessly sacrifice everything to serve others. Swami Vivekananda states that a leader must be impersonal. I do not mean that one should be a brute, but instead have the power to pluck out my own heart, even with my own hand if it becomes necessary. As we heard through some of Swami Vivekananda's stories yesterday, he was eager to follow this particular mantra at a very young age, helping the poor whenever he could. Unselfishness and destroying our ego is the one idea we see repeated again and again throughout his teachings. This is important for all of us youth to keep in mind. We will be given many opportunities to be selfish and build